All over the country, animals are raising their brand new families. We'll share with you some amazing births and the first few weeks of animal babies' new lives. From cute little kittens to ferocious tigers. We'll be there in the kennels, stables, barns and even zoos like this one to witness these new arrivals and meet the people whose job it is to make sure that they arrive safe and sound and hopefully on time. From cats to orangutans, from dogs to zebras, we'll be there to witness those magic moments as we travel across the UK, bringing you brand new babies of every shape and size. Coming up, we visit sheepdogs in the Lake District and follow first-time mum Biddy. And we follow the rehabilitation of some local wildlife as squirrels and even tiny bats are hand-reared, then released. But first, we're now heading down to Kent to see a gorgeous cat that's just given birth to a beautiful pair of kittens. Here we are at the Wildlife Heritage Foundation, where they breed lions, tigers and leopards. They also have some smaller species here as well. This is Samia. She's an African Serval cat. And this is her mate, Malawi. And she's just had babies.
The day that Samia had her kittens, I was actually off duty. I found that when I got back from my bike ride, I was meekly told that I was a grandmother. We had these two little guys. Very, very proud, very excited. These kittens are only 6 days old. At this stage, they have grey woolly coats and still resemble little domestic tabby cats. It'll be a few months before their teeth and ears are fully grown. Then they'll become wild savannah cats like Dad Malawi next door. So you can see how strong he is. We feed our small cats here at Wildlife Heritage every day. They sometimes get a starve day once a week, but during winter time, obviously they're fed daily, and that's due to obviously changes in climate. Servals are extremely intelligent and good at problem solving, which helps them outwit their prey, but also gets them into mischief. Oh, it's a bit more broken off. Mum and Dad live in separate enclosures right next door to each other. Mum and Dad will be apart probably for the duration of the cubs' early life, and possibly even until we're ready to breed them again. Servals don't always mix well. Malawi's actually a bit grouchy, so we decided to separate them out several weeks before she gave birth. 4 weeks later, and the kittens have grown their distinctive serval ears. And it seems like one of them is taking after Dad in temperament, and the other is much more relaxed, like Mum, Samia. Samia is very protective of her first litter, but even that won't stop her coming out to play when keeper Fraser comes by.
This is her first litter, so for a first-time mum, she's doing absolutely brilliantly. They grow in like anything, so she's got a very good supply of milk for them. We always get a bit worried because it's the first litter, so you want to think, oh, is she going to look after them and how well will she treat them and all that? But no, she's been brilliant so far.
Even though they are her first kittens, Samia certainly knows how to keep them in check. They've been well trained to stay safely in their box.
Some of the previous cats that have given birth on her first litter, they've not been so firm with them. And one of our tigers, her first litter, she wasn't so firm, she never really told them off or put her foot down when they were nicking her food. And they started really taking liberties with her. But as Samia, she's set the law down, she knows what she wants the cubs or kittens to do and not to do. She'll throw it back this way in a minute.
We'll be back to see the kittens later, when they start venturing out with Mum Samia. But next, we're heading to one of our favourite tourist destinations, and one of our favourite animals. One that's been working alongside the local farmers for countless generations. The hills, mountains and valleys of the Lake District are a huge draw to tourists from all over the world. But the reason they look like they do is that they've been grazed for centuries by the flocks of sheep of the local hill farmers. Hardy breeds such as the local Swaledale sheep.
It gets really cold and it gets really windy and wet, Like the cold, wet, driving wind, that's the worst that a sheep can have, and the Swaledales have a good coat of wool to protect themselves from it.
Farmers like Derek Scrimminger of Lonscale Farm would be lost without the help of their trusty sheepdogs.
I'm a tenant farmer. My main job is a hill farmer. I have 800 sheep and they're on 1,500 acres, mostly just producing lambs to sell. And I breed some puppies, a limited amount of high-quality puppies every year, and it's become quite a useful sideline to the farm.
Derek's daughter Rachel has been on the farm all her life and now is increasingly more involved in looking after the sheepdogs.
We've got our 5 main dogs, which we use for farm work, and then we've always got breeding dogs here as well. That'll do. Biddy biddy. Here. Lie down. Away. But they're not here just for breeding. They get used on the farm and we train them as well. Lie down!
About 2 years ago, my daughter left school and she had to decide what to do with her career, and she decided to come and work on the farm and help me rather than go to university. And she's obviously interested in the dogs, so slowly but surely the dog side of the farm is going over to my daughter.
Lie down.
One of Rachel's dogs, Biddy, is about to give birth, so we've given Rachel a camera to capture the puppy's arrival.
It's actually in the daytime, which was unusual because normally dogs have puppies at night. But I went in there and she had 1 puppy.
It was soon joined by another one. Biddy was turning out to be a natural mother.
Luckily we were here. Normally we'd stay at home on the day they're supposed to have puppies just to make sure there's nothing that goes wrong. And she was a bit unsettled, so we thought we'd stay and just check, make sure that they were all okay and that she was doing a good job with them. Just had to help a couple of times, breaking the sacks when they came out so they didn't suffocate. It took probably about 4 hours for her to have them all. Yeah, she was good. She cleaned them all up and she's nice. She's happy with them now. She's doing good.
In total, Biddy gave birth to 5 puppies. Now the puppies are just 1 day old.
In this litter, we've got 3 girls and 2 boys. They normally open their eyes at about 2.5 weeks old, and by 3 weeks, their eyes will be fully opened, and then they'll start exploring. They don't normally start walking around until about 3.5 weeks. So this litter in here, these are a little bit older. They're about 4 weeks old now. And you can see they develop really quickly. I mean, I'll pick one up for you. Good girl. They're already a lot bigger and they've got their eyes open and they're much more active. And it's amazing how quickly they grow up, really. When they've opened their eyes and they start moving around, we'll start feeding them. And we feed them we get dry food and soak it in water and liquidize it so it's like a mush, and they like to eat that. Once they've started eating that, we'll feed them soaked food, but we won't mush it up anymore, so they actually start eating it, and then they'll go on to dry food.
These puppies won't begin their training until they're 6 to 8 months old, and by the time they reach a year, the training will really intensify.
We train every day, not necessarily the same dogs, but we take them in turns, and we're doing farm work every day, so the main farm dogs get worked all the time. The younger dogs maybe once every other day, or if they're ready, every day. It just depends, really. Lie down! I like working on the farm, and I like having a dog that I've trained to a high standard that'll capable of running at sheepdog trials as well as doing farm work.
As if looking after all those sheep wasn't hard enough work, and training the dogs, Derek still finds time to travel the length of the UK to take part in his favourite pastime, sheepdog trials. Today, he's at his local show.
Personally, I love competing. I'm very competitive, but hopefully I'm not a bad loser. But the farming is the basis for it all, and it all is kind of meaningless for me if it wasn't attached to real life and farming. The sheepdogs are used for working sheep on the farm, and the sheepdog trials are just an extension of what we do on the farm.
Derek is one of Britain's leading sheepdog trials competitors, and Rachel hopes Biddy's puppies will be doing this too, a little over a year from now.
I've always enjoyed it, and I'm really enjoying the fact that my daughter's interested in it and getting pleasure from it like I am.
Come by. I've got a dog now that'll be running in trials this winter. But yeah, I'd say it's kind of in the blood, really.
In a year's time, Biddy's puppies will also become working sheepdogs. Join us in part 2 for more real British wildlife.
When you hear the word wildlife, most people think of exotic foreign species like gorillas and lions and tigers and such. But here in the UK, you only need to go into your garden and you can see some pretty exciting wildlife of our own. Like this little guy.
But when these animals become injured, dedicated teams across the country care for them. And that's not always easy. There are all sorts of family-run animal sanctuaries set up in people's homes across the country. Cowan House in Much Wenlock is the only 24/7 wildlife rescue centre in Shropshire. Every summer they become inundated with literally hundreds of baby birds and animals that for one reason or another have lost their parents.
We've got about an acre of ground here and it extends all the way down, and throughout the garden there's a number of aviaries. It goes all the way down to the bottom where we've got the big pond.
Anna manages the homegrown rescue centre, and much of her time is taken up caring for abandoned baby birds.
They actually are feeding themselves, but they still think they need their mum.
As well as numerous rescued birds, they also take in a lot of squirrels. Squirrels are known for their high reproductive rate, producing 2 litters of young each year. Every summer, pups fall out of the nest or dray, only to be abandoned. At Cowan House, they've taken in some incredibly delicate, one-day-old squirrels.
And as you can see, they are born completely hairless, although they are starting to get little whiskers and also little hairs on their head. They're also completely blind and their ears are also closed up. They're just starting to suck the actual teat itself, which is great. It means that they're doing not too bad. Considering they've got through the first 24 hours, then it's looking better than it was, let's put it that way.
Feeding baby squirrels is only part of the care they need. In the wild, their mother would lick them to stimulate their digestive system.
They won't go to the toilet by themselves. Obviously, if you don't do this, then you can imagine all the problems that it causes. Because they're so small, we use a little cotton bud, it's easier.
We'll be back later in the show to see how the squirrels are getting on.
Actually, finding squirrels out and about and in your garden is very easy, but there are other creatures that are much more secretive and harder to see. Take example, our next creature, bats. They might give some people the willies, but they are really fascinating animals. Now, West Hatch in Taunton have just had 40 orphans handed in, so this is a rare opportunity to see them up close and in the daylight.
We had a call to basically say that there were bats that had been reported by members of the public in Taunton. And over the next couple of days, we had a number of bats from the same roost, all brought into the centre.
Being found active in daytime is very unusual, as bats normally only emerge after sunset. They were only a few weeks old when they came into the centre, and Alex Betts has been hand-rearing them since they arrived.
This is a soprano pipistrelle bat. It's the smallest of the pipistrelles.
The population of pipistrelle bats has declined by 70% in the last 30 years, mainly caused by a lack of habitat, which could explain why this baby bat was found hanging on someone's curtains.
I've named the bat Wolverine, and I'm trying to get Wolverine to eat live mini worms, which he seems to be doing quite well. Two of my bats, which are at home, are now feeding themselves, but this little guy's being a bit stubborn. So he's just started eating the mealworms.
Alex will keep bringing Wolverine into the centre until he too is able to feed himself.
I normally get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and do the first feed, and then throughout the day every 3 hours. So the last one might be at 9 o'clock, 9:30.
Alex keeps a constant eye on the bats and weighs them daily to make sure they're eating enough and growing.
It's quite difficult to raise bats. They can be okay 1 minute and then all of a sudden, and for no apparent reason, they go downhill.
The future for these bats is good. It's good, we think, based on research that we've done as a society, as the RSPCA, into the post-release survival of bats, specifically pipistrelle bats. If they get the right sort of care, and critically they get time in a flight aviary before they're released to condition themselves to the wild, that gives them a very good prospect for survival. And these bats have responded well to rehabilitation, so yeah, these bats should do very well indeed.
A few weeks on and the bats have moved up in the world.
As you can see, they're flying around quite nicely, landing very well.
But due to the unusually wet and cold conditions, there's been a change to the bats' release plans.
The weather's getting worse, it's getting colder, so we're having to now house them inside. So release will probably be next year.
Meanwhile, back up in Shropshire, Anna has been hand-rearing 20 squirrels.
And these are the older ones, which still need feeding, but they're about 5 to 6 weeks old. They are eating themselves, however they still get bottle fed. So as you can see, they really want it. And it's quite often they'll grab it like they're grabbing it now, and they are quite sweet when they do that. That'll do you. Back into your bed. When they're off their bottle fed and they're eating themselves, they'll go into one of our larger aviaries, and from there they'll have virtually no human contact.
These squirrels will be nurtured until they're old enough to go back into the wild.
Just a few weeks later, and all the hard work and dedication has paid off, because it's time to say goodbye to 2 of the squirrels and get them back out where they belong.
Anna's co-worker Fran is handling the release.
This really is the prize at the end of it. When you've had these creatures come in sick or orphaned, tiny, to bring them through to this, just knowing that they're going off into the big wide world, we've really done as much as we can do. Perfect. We know that there are many other squirrels around here, so again there's ample food to sustain them. So it's absolutely perfect. Okay, moment of truth. Of course, it's sad to see them go, but then in effect, it's a great thing. This is where they were born to be. This is it. This is their time to go into the wide world. What more could you want? Perfect.
It's great to see those squirrels back out in the wild.
But now we're heading back to Kent to catch up with those Serval kittens.
So they're 14 weeks old now, and we've come back to see just how they're getting on. Hello, Poppet. Oh, look how they've grown. How long have they been coming outside now, Fraser?
They've been coming out for the last 4 or 5 weeks really constantly. Before that, they were coming out sporadically, and normally only when Mum told them to come out.
So the kittens, you're happy with their progress?
Yeah, they're growing up well. They're eating solids more or less all the time now. The boy was a bit slow on the pick-up, but it seems to be everything. The girl's always about a week in advance.
So they're already getting their own distinct personalities?
Yeah. The girl's always been a lot more confident than the boy.
Look at those ears.
Yeah, beautiful little ears, sticking up And they can work them independently, and they're always listening out for signs, little animals running through the long grass.
Although they're so much bigger than they were before, they've yet to have that final growth spurt that will give them the real long legs, haven't they?
Yeah, as they grow up, they will change shape, and as they mature, the legs will grow into eventually the shape which Mum is, which you can see is very leggy, very long, but at the moment, they are very much like a domestic cat, and you're already getting hungry.
And they're, oh, right, shall we try them with a bit of food? Because I think they're getting pretty hungry, aren't they?
hungry. There you go, Samia. Samia.
Oh, there you go. Oh.
Samia.
Samia. What have we got in here? We've definitely got something.
It's chopped up bits of quail.
Oh, there you go. Very good. It's good to share, isn't it?
See how good she is with them.
She's
just
amazing.
like,
Yeah.
you can have that food.
Yeah.
And before they were eating, she would take them, the food, and drop it at their feet. And she'd give them 10, 15 minutes, and if they didn't eat it, she'd then eat it herself, but she'd give them the chance to. Samia, sit.
Look at that. Oh, you're such a good mum. What a beautiful, beautiful animal. Goes to show that just that instinct to mother is in all of these mammals that we've been featuring. All of these animals just know instinctively what to do, and it's a great, great opportunity to just see all that nature in action.